What's up everyone, I'm Tim and this is my channel 40 Times Around, where we talk about everything related to motorcycles, camping, travel, and adventure. And today we're going to talk about 5 reasons I love riding a motorcycle more than driving a car. I have a feeling you'll be able to relate to a few of these. Stick around. So the idea for this video actually came from a comment from one of you guys, and I thought it was such a brilliant question that I wanted to do a whole video on it because it's such a cool topic and I think something that we can all kind of relate to. And one more thing before we jump into the 5 reasons I love motorcycles more than cars. I recently hit a huge milestone on YouTube, and I haven't brought this up yet in a video because a lot of my last few videos were pre-recorded before I hit this milestone. And we got to 20,000 subscribers, which is just amazing to me. So I'm really blown away by this. I think it's so cool that people are enjoying the videos that I'm putting out, and more importantly, the community that's been built. If you haven't been over to the Facebook closed group, a lot of cool stuff going on over there. Definitely go check that out. It's just a great group of people, and that I think is just, it was probably the biggest gift of this YouTube thing is the friends that I found through these videos. So anyways, I'm going to do a little giveaway. Basically all I want you to do is head over to my Instagram page, post a picture of yourself in front of your motorcycle, and tag at 40 Times Around, and make sure that you're following 40 Times Around also. As long as you do those 2 things, I'm going to pick 3 random people that do that, and I'm going to send you some stickers, a couple of different little things. So if you're interested in trying to win that, that's all you have to do. Go over to 40 Times Around, make sure you're following 40 Times Around, and tag me in a picture of you and your motorcycle. Pretty simple. So reason number 1 that I love motorcycles more than cars is the immersion of it. In other words, when you're in a car, you kind of see everything almost as if you're looking at it on a TV. When you're on a bike, you have that whole sensory aspect of it. You're seeing it, but you're also feeling it. You're smelling the smells of, let's say, farm or freshly cut grass. The environment around you is entering your body and your soul through all of your senses. If it gets colder or damp, you're gonna feel that. You're gonna hear a lot more. It's just that immersion into your environment, to me, is such a better way to travel than sitting on a comfy chair looking at a TV screen. It gets kind of boring in a car, to be honest with you. That immersion for me, I think, is just a perfect way to travel and see and experience new places. And I think it just kind of fits perfectly with the whole idea of what traveling is all about. So that element of just being constantly connected with your surroundings, I think, is just a perfect part of motorcycling. Reason number 2 I love motorcycles more than cars, believe it or not, is the vulnerability of it. This vulnerable aspect is what pulls your attention into total focus of what's going on around you. Of course, motorcycling is a great way to think about things and consider things and meditate and think about things other than what's happening in the now. Of course, that's something that you can do on a motorcycle, but the reality is, even if you're, contemplating a decision in life as you ride your motorcycle, maybe you were looking for some clarity on a particular ride, you're still immediately, you're focused on what's going on around you because of that vulnerability, the element of danger, and that keeps you in the now, which is, that's a tricky thing to do in normal day-to-day life, is staying in the moment. Riding a motorcycle is a great way to get in the now and be fully in the moment and aware of your surroundings, what's happening at this moment. So like I said, of course you can use motorcycling to meditate on things that aren't currently happening, but that doesn't mean the awareness of your surroundings goes away. So that's a pretty awesome aspect of it. And it's a way to get something that's not so easy to get in other parts of life, that in the now, that raw, what's happening now is all that's happening kind of feeling, and that's pretty awesome. Third thing I love more about motorcycles than cars is the exposure to the elements. I think it just adds so much to the adventure aspect of being on a motorcycle. In a car, you may not notice that it started raining until you have to turn on your wipers. If you're on a motorcycle, that little bit of rain is going to change your world. It's going to change the game for you. You have to adapt to that. So it's keeping things constantly changing and interactive. So you're just kind of forced to deal with that, however that may be, and to just kind of constantly adapt to your surroundings and the changing conditions. It's a part of the fun. It's a part of the game of being on a motorcycle and the adventure of it all. This is also a great way to have some pretty awesome stories to tell later on. And isn't that really what it's all about? If it's not worth telling in a story, then it probably wasn't all that exciting. I've been in some situations with weather just turning for the worst, like real quick, particularly up in Utah. Certain areas of Utah, the weather just seems to be so unpredictable and wild up there. I've seen a couple flash floods out of nowhere. I've seen it, sunny day, nice beautiful weather, and all of a sudden it's snowing or hailing. And all of that just changes the game for me. It changes how I ride. It's just it's unpredictable, and it's fun, it's exciting. It adds, like I said, it adds to the adventure. Not to keep repeating that, but for me, motorcycling and adventure, it's synonymous. It's, that's what I ride a bike for, is the adventure of it. And so anything that adds to that, it just adds to the value of motorcycling for me. Reason number 4 is actually probably more applicable to traveling distances on a motorcycle, but I think this applies to even just around town day rides and things like that, and that is the simplicity of it. So the reason this applies to traveling is because the need to put so much focus and importance on weight kind of puts you in a situation where you need to reevaluate your needs in a different way. It gives you a different perspective on what's important, what's a luxury, what can you do without. And it forces you to travel lightly. This is nice because you don't end up burdened with the bulk of extra weight and things you don't really need. I think as human beings, we have this tendency to collect things that really we don't need. And it's nice to release the shackles of that burden, of all this weight we kind of drag around through life, physically and not physically. But really I'm talking about the things in life that just kind of clutter our head. And I don't know where the quote comes from, but someone said the things we own end up owning us. That's, to me, is just so true. And I try to live very streamlined, especially as I gear up towards full-time travel. I don't have a lot of stuff that I don't need, and that's a very liberating feeling, and that comes very directly from having traveled long-term on motorcycles and being forced to live out of saddlebags for 2 months or more at a time. Reason number 5 is that X factor. I think you'll know what I mean here. It's that thing that you can't quite put your finger on. It's that magic that you just need to feel to know. You can't really explain it to people, and if you have to explain it, you wouldn't get it, that kind of thing. Not to get too out there on this, but it's almost like entering an alternate dimension. The world is just different. Not even just the world around you, not just the world you're riding through, but the world behind you and the world in front of you are just different. Being on a motorcycle gives you a different perspective and a different outlook on things, both immediately and in past and future. I think that's just a really wonderful part of it, and to me that's, I was riding out here, I passed a couple guys on motorcycles. It's a beautiful day in Arizona, so it's kind of the beginning of our riding season. Our riding season is a little bit earlier than the rest of the country because when everyone else is riding, it's going to be like 120 degrees in Phoenix. So this is kind of the best time of year to be riding in this part of Arizona. Anyways, I passed a couple guys, we waved at each other, and it's like being in the Matrix or something, we're just in this alternate dimension where we kind of recognize each other and know that, like, hey, we both see this world a little different than these cars around us, and we're kind of in this together, and it's just a cool feeling, Maybe you get that one. I hope so. Hope I'm not completely out in left field on this one. That X factor is just amazing, and like I said, you can't explain it, so how could I explain it? Bonus reason too, number 6, reason I like motorcycles more than cars is that I just love it. It makes me happy, and when I'm on my bike, there typically isn't anything I'd rather be doing. it's just amazing. And I guess that goes along with the X factor. I can't quite explain why, but I absolutely love it and I cannot get enough of it. Anyways, those are my reasons. And like I said, because of the 20,000 subscribers, we're doing a little giveaway. Make sure you head over to my Instagram page at 40 times around. Make sure you're following and that you tag me in a picture. Just put a little at 40 times around under your picture of you and your motorcycle. So I'm going to stop and announce the winner on Friday the following week. I don't know the exact date. I'll put it right here. So if you want to win, possibly win some stickers and things like that, make sure you get over there and do that. Anyways, that's it for today. I do have a question for you. I want to know, what is it that you guys love about motorcycles more than cars? Let me know in the comments below, and I'm actually going to post something on Facebook today too and kind of keep the conversation going over there because I think this is such a cool thing that we can all kind of connect on. So that's about it for today. If you got something out of this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell if you haven't already. That way you don't miss anything whenever I post something new about motorcycles, camping, travel, and adventure. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.